Hey.
Hi everybody, it's Jocelyn here. Sorry that I haven't made a video in a long time, um, but I'm back for now, and we're going to start talking about In the Back of My Mind. It's going to be split up into a few more episodes rather than do it all in one, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be focused on. Um, like I said, I'm sorry for being away. I've had kind of a tough time of it here recently, and oddly enough, I feel like I can kind of relate that back into the music. In the back of my mind, the track was recorded shortly after Brian suffered from his first uh, mental breakdown on the plane. I think a lot of us fans of Brian are drawn to him in part by being able to relate with some of the stuff he goes through, and that certainly has been the case for me. I have my fair share of issues. I suffer from really bad anxiety, and I've been hospitalized for panic attacks before, and I have pretty bad depression, and a lot of other stuff that I have to deal with. And hearing Brian's story was something that drew me in to his personal story, other than just the music. Um, and I feel like since In the Back of My Mind was just, I think, 3 weeks after Brian came back from suffering this really difficult blow, um, it makes sense to talk about it in this context. I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes when I face difficulties, music can be so many different things and not always positive. I once had my appendix burst and put off going to the doctor for a really long time, and it almost killed me. And after I had the surgery to take care of all that, I couldn't listen to music for weeks, if not months. There's something. Um, I'm not sure if it was too beautiful to bear, or if it was a reminder of something. But I couldn't deal with it for a long time. And I've been having a couple of really hard weeks here, and music sometimes feels like, a distraction. Like if I can work on some music, I can be distracted from my troubles. But sometimes it also feels like it's rubs it in, like it's too much. And I'm sure that Brian felt a lot of emotions coming back to the studio after suffering this, and probably through the rest of his life. Sometimes music can be such a release, but other times it can really, particularly when you're trying to be creative, it can really be like this box. So I can really imagine that struggle that I'm sure Brian felt. Um, yeah, so I had been planning to do In the Back of My Mind, and then I was going to go on, do Bull session, and then do some of the outtakes. And I had ordered a trombone that I'd saved up for over a long time, which was going to be used on I Guess I'm Dumb. It's going to show you the cool brass section on that. But yesterday it was supposed to arrive, and it came and was delivered, and then was promptly stolen from my building. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just gone. A lot of money and a lot of expectations were dashed. And then the week before that, my cat's health, if you remember my beautiful cat Missy, her health took a really bad turn, and not exactly sure what's wrong with her. She's okay, but not quite herself. And we have to get some prescription medicine or some prescription food, and it's really love her, and it's hard to go through that. So just to share that crap. Now let's start talking about it In the Back of my mind. Brian came back to the studio. He'd done Good to My Baby in the morning, and then came back to the studio in the evening to work on this song. And you can tell he's not having a good time at first. The music takes a long time to come together, and once it does, you can sense that his enthusiasm is back. But in the beginning, he says at one point, "I'm going to lose the session." He's really feeling bad. But despite all of that, the music ends up being really good. And we're just going to start by talking about Billy Strange's guitar part. It goes something like this. Forgive me, I haven't been playing much. I'm not in great shape, but let's see. So it's this great figure, and it doubles the vibraphone, so it's not something that could have been improvised. It's kind of an awkward part. It's very... it's hard to imagine, somebody picking it up real quick, but Billy Strange is a real pro. I think that earlier in Brian's career, he may have had it be more like something like In My Room kind of arpeggio. Yeah, like... something like that. But for this, it's not just a simple arpeggio. There's some left hand work that needs to be done. And I'll talk about what the chords are in the next couple episodes. So it's just a really cool part, like so many of the guitar parts were this time. And then after that is done, Billy just goes along with this great chord progression. Again, forgive me, I'm a little rusty. So next time we're going to talk about what those chords are, and I'll put together the whole guitar arrangement, which is really nice with Carl's 12-string, adding some cool stuff, and particularly the end. And then after that, I hope to present you with the string section, which I'll record, and I may combine that with the synthetic sax section so you can see how those work together, because they really are sort of part of the same idea. And then if there's anything left to talk about, that'll be another thing. So it could be like 3 or 4 episodes. So those will be coming, hopefully sooner rather than later. Try to keep it together over here. I hope you're able to keep it together. It's still, even though things are a little more normal, they're still not normal, and a lot of people are having trouble. It's just a weird time, and really appreciate you watching. If you felt like you wanted to donate to the channel fund, be a great time to show your appreciation that way. Even a little bit helps me be able to cover some of the small costs. Trying to make this channel the best I can. One last thing about the guitar part. Billy was definitely playing a lot of Fender Jaguar on sessions. This could be a Jaguar. It could be his Gibson, like a Gibson hollow body. Hard to tell. I'm going to put a rough imitation of the vibrato, which I'm sure is an amp vibrato. But I'll get it more dialed in next time for when I do the whole guitar section. It'll just be kind of a stand-in for now. There is vibrato on it, and that works really nicely with the vibes, with the vibrato and the vibes. And yeah, so there's that. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned. More episodes are coming. Be well. See you around.